Okay, so modeling. Let's start easy. So I think it will be nice to do the pawn. It's a very simple asset. Ooh, what's happening? It's a very simple asset, and basically it's all about extruding. So it's gonna be a good one to start as a first, modeling voiceover lesson. And I think we already do this. Already did this. Sorry. But if you want to check it out, you might have something, maybe missed something, or you can still learn, even if it looks very basic and you think you already nailed it. So image plane. We already did a video on how to load the image plane, so I'm not gonna be, you know, showing it how to do it. If you want, check the video about the image plane, and bam. So I just want to repeat that I like to work in positive space, not negative. So I'm gonna bring my image plane on top of the origin, not below. Is good habit. Hmm? I take the alpha gain down because it's too bright. I don't need it to be so bright, so I take it down a bit. And I create an empty layer, double click, boom, we have it. So, as we all agree, this pawn is definitely a cylindrical object. So we start from a cylinder, and so this is my personal, how do you say this, shelf. You can create a shelf like this. I think, what is it? Ah, no, from here, sorry. New shelf, and you can name it the way you want. I name it with my nickname, but I think you probably see something like this. A bit different probably because my Maya is not the most recent one necessarily, but I think you can still follow along. It's the same thing. So we start from a cylinder, shall we? Boom. You just click here, cylinder, and you have it. So as I was mentioning the other day, I don't think you want Maya to decide for you. So you get a cylinder in your scene like this, and you think, okay, that's good, it works, but maybe it doesn't. And what I mean about maybe it doesn't, it's about the division. So here Maya gives you 20. In this case, I'm gonna leave it 20, okay? Because I think it could be a decent number to work with. I think less could be a bit too low res. So we'll keep 20, but trust me, most of the time you probably want to, to add a number of your choice because, depends by the situation. So I've got this cylinder now and I want to create the base. So I'll put it here at the floor and I go to vertex mode. I select the vertices on the top only and I do it from the front view and I take them down like this. So I get roughly, maybe I will do a bit more. It doesn't have to be the same. It's not the point of this. But yeah, it just doesn't have to be really the same, just similar. Then I will have to make it wider, right? Because the base of the pawn is wider. So just let me do. Okay, I want to make it wider. So to make it wider, and I forgot to the anti-aliasing. Turn it on. It's nice. It's good to turn it on. So to make it wider, there are different ways, but the probably the best way will be to go to scale, which is this thing right here, or you could press R. If you press R, it's the shortcut for scale, and if you press Control left mouse button, you can scale it just in one axis. If you don't like this method, I mean it's my favorite, but if you don't like it, you could instead go over this yellow flat square. You see there is a square for every side of this kind of controller. If you go in this one, that is the one of the floor plane, you can do basically the same thing. So yeah, we basically now have the width of the base correct. So now we want to extrude upwards. So how do you extrude upwards? I want to select just the faces on the top to make my extrusion, because we see that this is tapering up. But I think selecting all the faces like this is a bit boring. So what I do usually, if I am in a situation like this, I select everything and then I shift select what I don't need. And take a look now. I got selected just the top faces. Then I perform an extrusion with this button here. And now this is the part that, is a bit cheeky, because I saw a lot of, you know, students that maybe did for the first time that didn't understand what is this and why do we need it. But this is basically the controller for the extrusion, and what you need this for is to basically control your extrusion. But it works in different ways. In this way I don't want to go upwards. Oh well, actually yes, I want to go upward. I go upward, and now we want to basically create this tapering thing. And how do you do that? I do it in one way. Either you press one of these cubes, no matter which, it's gonna be the same, and you activate the middle cube. And once that is activated, take a look, you can basically scale your just the top faces inward. And we have it. Another way, if you're like this, you could go in scale mode and basically scale it inward the same way. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And as my selection is still active, I now can, work on creating this kind of round silhouette. So I do another extrusion. I bring it up, let's say like this. Then I go. I'm working in multiple views, so I keep in check the front view, but I work in the perspective view, because I want to make sure I don't do this kind of thing that happened all the time with other students, and probably when you're new to the extrusion operation. So many, it looks correct from here, but look, from here is definitely not correct. So when I again click on one of the cubes, I activate the middle cube. You can then scale it just on its flat plane, is horizontal plane. And so we can then build the silhouette of our pawn in this way. I got still the right faces selected, so I perform another extrusion and I bring it upward. Sorry, I bring it upward. Sorry, let me do it again. So I select everything, I shift select what I don't need. You see, okay. Sorry, don't look what I'm doing now. Okay, cool. So we are here. So again, I want to extrude and create this silhouette. I want to select just, these flat horizontal faces. I don't want to select the others. I don't do like this, because after you select the faces on the bottom and you don't want that. So the safest way, in my opinion, to select them is select everything, nice and big like this. So you have everything selected, and then you press Shift, and then you left click and drag to deselect, to actually, select what you don't need. And bam, you have just the top ones. Very quick. Could be super quickly if you do it, if you are modeling and you want to be fast, you do like this, tuck, tuck, done. Then I extrude, and again, as I said before, I'm working on both views. I bring it up, then I activate the middle cube, and then I follow the silhouette. Then I extrude again, I bring it up, maybe like this. I activate the middle cube, I bring it like this. Then I extrude again, I bring it up, maybe like here. Activate the middle cube, like this. Maybe we could take this one lower, maybe. Take this one lower, and then if you activate scale, you press Control, like before. You press Control and left mouse button, you can scale it just on the axis. So like this, I think it looks better. Now let's keep going. I select everything, I shift select what I don't need, and now I've got my nice top faces to keep the extrusion, work we are doing. So I extrude, and take a look at what I'm doing here, because you see in the reference, you see there is a kind of I don't know, a kind of loop that goes inward. So take a look at what I'm doing. I extrude, I take it up, then I extrude again, I take it up, I extrude again, I take it up, and take a look now. I've got this kind of loop, and I want to push it inwards. So how do I do that? I select one face, and then I shift double click to select the loop. I'm doing it again. Select one face, shift double click, and there is the whole loop selected. And now I can extrude and extrude inward. Super easy. So now I've got the kind of ridge that we have in the image. This image is not great, but with some imagination we can uh, be happy with this loop. Now again, I want to keep going with my extrusion, but this is gonna be a different one, but still I'm gonna need just the top faces. So I select everything and I shift select what I don't need, and I am with my nice top faces. Now I want to make an extrusion, but take a look. So I hide it. This is not round. I think this is starting, the extrusion is starting later. So let me just what is here? So let me just make it a bit bigger. So okay, so you see this thing here. I am thinking that this is not like a curve. It doesn't curve like this. You see? I think this is actually round, and then it's flat, like this again. Probably this is like this. But this one is not like this. I think it starts later. So how do we do that? Because I'm really sure there is, even ever so slightly here, there is gonna be like a flat kind of area before the neck, let's call, of the pawn starts. So it's gonna be, if you imagine it to be like bigger, it's kind of gonna be similar to this, and the curve like this. So how do we do this flat part here? Let's say I get back my model. So as before, I go to face mode, I select everything, and then I shift select what I don't need. I go now in the perspective view, so I see better what I'm doing. I don't want to end up doing this, okay? So I activate the extrusion, and then I activate one of the cubes, and I do like this. You see? So the extrusion, you for sure don't notice it in the front view, because it's something that is happening only on the flat plane. But it allows me to have this kind of gap. So then, and only then, I can, perform another extrusion operation and bring it up. And you see, my neck will start a bit after. You see, it's not like curved. And then I activate one of the cubes, either one is fine, and then I scale it, and we can then keep going with our extrusion. I keep going forward, I do extrude, I go here, then I go back to my perspective view, I activate one of the cubes, bam, and then I extrude again, W. In this case I press W, but look, I did extrude, bring it up, and that's it. Actually, you see how this kind of thing work. So this is basically, again, even the neck arrives to this. I don't know how to call this kind of thing, this element, but our neck finishes here. This and this part is flat. All this part is flat, so we need to take in consideration that as well. So to address this, we basically, I have this method. Take a look. I do an extrusion, I bring it up, and then I go in the perspective view and I do face like we did before for this, but the opposite side. One click, shift, double click, and then I extrude, and I get the blue arrow out. And it's done. Take a look. So simple. Now I want to take care of this kind of neck kind of thing, which is going like this. So, you know, it's still a cylinder on the top, but it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be, you know, less wide in the top and wider in the bottom. So I think I already have something done. In this case, take a look. I select all these faces, and in this case I need to either shift left click, or you can press tab and do like this. With tab it's a bit easier. And take a look what I'm doing. I go to the move tool, usually I press W because it's the shortcut, and I bring it up like this, and basically we have it, yeah, it's done. And now I can keep going with the extrusion as we did before. I extrude, I bring it up, I activate one of the cubes, I scale it, then I extrude again, I bring it up, I activate one of the cubes, boom, extrude, bring it up, activate the cubes, bam, extrude, bring it up, activate the cubes, like this. And you can work in, you know, the front view. Doesn't have really to be super exact. I mean, it's not the point, but just, you know, to follow the shape of the reference. And then I extrude, and now I show you something cheeky. So I bring it up, but you can see that this is flat, and this is a kind of sphere. If you want to really add the cherry on top, you select one vertex, you go to the move tool, and you move it up. Sorry, you move it up like this. So it kind of looks like a sphere. Basically that's it for the pawn. We did it. It's all good. It works. So hope this was helpful. Thanks.